Hey everyone, it's episode 8 of... I was almost going to say Kobold Kingmaker, because we were talking about Kingmaker earlier, but it is Sparkly Dark. So, there we go, my HP, I got everything working again, so everyone's levels are correctly above me here. Cal is Psychic now, and their HP bars are actually working. That's good. Sorry I wasn't here last week. I was very busy and didn't really have all that much prepared, and I wasn't going to run a bunch of filler content. I don't really like doing that. In other news, the what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, in like 2 weeks' time, the week after this next weekend, like the Halloween sort of 26, 27, I'm at Renaissance Fair in Texas, the big one. So I won't be able to run the game.
But hey, Renaissance fairs.
Yeah, it's gonna be the holiday season, so it's gonna be uh torn up a little bit. I'm also going home for Thanksgiving, and I'm also doing stuff for Christmas, but again, most people kind of are, so hope that's not too big of a deal. But yeah. Final little thing, of course. Every map that you will ever see in this campaign are made exclusively by me, and they are up on my Patreon now. I'm gonna get these newer maps up on the Patreon pretty soon. Maybe after next session or so, I'll do the next release of that. Otherwise, I think it's time for us to just get going. Let's do the recap.
Ready for it unless somebody wants it.
Go ahead.
That sounds like it's me. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so after getting ourselves a good night's rest in a secluded chamber in the tunnels that hopefully would lead to the surface, we came to a stone rock building built into the cavern wall where we were met by strange humanoids with bushy beards and smooth skin. They wanted to extort us for money, but we were short on funds, so they gave us another option to slay some strange oozes for them so that they could get at something. Cal could understand their dwarvish language, as he called it, and realized that they were planning to dispose of us afterward, so they didn't have to share anything. With this in mind, we proceeded onward anyway, but we were pulled aside by another dwarf who didn't look quite like them, named Hrolf, who definitely was not with these ones. He claimed that these others, the Hringar, were squatters defiling his clan's ancestral grounds. And with that in mind, we resolved ourselves to take out both the oozes and the squatters. They let us inside, and instead of going straight for the ooze room, we talked to them a bit before assaulting them directly. We slew their leader and a couple more of the more aggressive ones and allowed those who surrendered to flee. Finally, we went into the chamber where the oozes were said to reside in. They turned out to be a pair of gelatinous cubes. It was a very nearly lethal battle, with Cal and Starnberg taking very heavy damage, but we pulled through together. Wounded and tired from that fight, we decided instead of returning straight to Rolf, we would inspect one more room and found a secret door leading to a treasury, where, to our surprise, there was a hungry mimic. That was a little brutal. Hrolf was unaware of this mimic, and by fighting this, we very possibly inadvertently saved his life, and he offered us much of the silver within the treasury in gratitude. And that's where we left off.
So, after the mimic has fallen into this sort of white gluey slop on the floor there, and you are all sort of catching your breath, you, well, pretty tired. Traveling a couple of hours during the day and taking over this entire outpost by yourselves. Rolf is sort of doing this sort of inventory of what is here across the dusty crates and other things that he's snapping open. There's nothing but dust in most of this. Cleaned house when they got out of here. You all make yourselves at home. Look like you could use a rest.
Certainly.
Your hospitality is certainly appreciated, thank you.
And, I'll make sure to send you on your right way when you awaken tomorrow.
I think we should take care of these bodies.
Don't worry about them. I'll give them a proper burial.
Oh, you know what I could do? While we're here, is I could go over the floors and clean them.
You want to clean the floors?
Well, I mean, you're showing us this hospitality, and we don't want to seem rude. I don't want to seem rude.
You weren't really rude. You just killed all my enemies here and saved my life from multitudes of slimy creatures. I think
sorry
you've
about
paid
that.
your debt. But do what you want.
Oh, right. Maybe I'll just clean the place where we go then.
Oh, that would be nice.
Hey, well, do what you will. Let's see if I can.
If I
Sorry?
may ask, though, what clan would you be part of so we can, I don't know, maybe bring you up as a way of gaining favor with them in the future?
Hey, well, about that, not ready to tell you. Look, I'll tell you in the morning. Part of a longer story.
Fair enough. I'm certainly curious to hear it.
Hey, just have to wait until the morning.
We are all quite
It is
exhausted.
morning. There's no.
Whatever timekeeping scale we operate under down here, just sleep. You know, you look tired. Hey, well, I'm gonna keep looking. As the doors close, you hear him grumbling and sort of tossing things aside, looking around. Well, what do you guys do from here?
Sandberg is gonna patch up his wounds and probably take that rest he's offered.
There's 5 convenient beds over here.
Yes. It's not because there's a party of 5, it's more because that's as many as I could fit in that room. But yes.
We just happen to be the ideal number.
Oh, yeah. So, rest it is. Anybody doing anything before they go into bed, or just all going to sleep?
Rask. Rask.
Probably just.
So Rask gathers water and and makes this glob of water on the floor and soaps it up. And then he'll like use his kineticist powers to like scrub this glob of water along the hallway down there, back and forth, to like get the floor looking nice and clean. And he's gonna spend some time doing that before actually getting his rest.
Alright. Plenty of bits of small rubble and dust lying around here that you collect.
You know, for having such a fantastic power, you certainly have a knack for finding incredibly mundane uses for it.
I mean, I've also been refilling our water skins.
He was always the one that had to clean up around the house.
I can see why he's very good at it.
Can you do the beds too without getting them wet?
No,
They're pretty dusty.
I mean I can do them, but I can't do it without getting them wet. I just thought the floors have this really nice smooth tiling, and so it'd be really easy. Maybe not so with like the rubble, but the parts of it that aren't rubble, you know, look.
They are shiny. Hopefully no one slips.
That's why I pick up the water when I'm done with it.
Hey, if you can pick up the water, can't you just wash the beds and then pick the water off of them?
Would you like me to try getting your clothes wet and then trying to get the water out of your clothes?
You should test it on Steinberg first.
No thanks.
I think Sforz is volunteering, honestly.
Just saying, it's a lot easier to do it on stone than it is when it soaks into cloth.
I do have to wonder at this point, though. How do you keep your own clothes dry after combat with you surrounded by water?
Well, my vest, I made sure to get it waterproofed. It's it's waterproof leather, so it protects me, and then I don't have to take it off if I don't need to. The rest of this clothes, well, it's just decent fabric, and I get it mostly dry, but it still stays somewhat damp.
What's the leather from?
Mushrooms, probably.
Mushroom leather.
Rasker
Okay.
shrugs.
Something Cal hunted at one point.
I'm sure there's all sorts of like creatures down here that you could make leather out of.
Yeah,
Shark leather.
razors, or even yes, shark leather or large water creature leather.
Oh. Your jacket seems very smooth both ways, I think.
It's a good one.
Still, it's amazing that with your damp clothes that you're not getting sick down here. I'm
Why would I
certainly...
get sick?
Oh, it's cold and humid. Not like the surface.
Well, if you let yourself stay wet and cold and humid, yeah, you're gonna get sick.
Oh, no, I don't. No, my body doesn't mind being wet.
Well, except you ask.
Rask, roll me a perception check.
Okay. Oop, I blinded it.
That's fine. I'll reveal. So that's a 16.
Not bad.
Just because you're talking about it, you sort of shift your mind to considering how cold it really is, and it's definitely a lot, well, colder than you're used to in the Ember Shrouds, because all of that sort of volcanic energy swirls around that ecosystem. It's usually pretty temperate down there. Here, there's a chill in the air, and not just your normal cavern chill. Something you haven't experienced before, even.
I hope it doesn't keep getting colder the further we go.
Say,
Well-
aren't we all cold-blooded? I think that's really bad for us.
Well, we can just gather around Cal if we have to with his new burning mind powers.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
It is an idea. That's good enough, isn't it?
Well, I mean, we could also maybe gather some hard stock and make bonfires if we need to warm up.
I think we'll be fine.
Either way, your eyelids are sort of winking. You are pretty ready for bed at this point.
Yeah.
So, as usual, because you guys have plenty of time and preparations, either going to bed or waking up in the morning, you can heal up to full while you treat wounds and all that.
Wahoo!
Oh, and
coincidentally, this is the... Okay.
Take your extra hero point as well, of course, for the recap.
Oh yeah, thank you. I forgot.
And 4 is 1 for roleplay.
Yippee.
And start break. Get them out early.
We'll need them.
So, as you all awaken in the morning, sort of using that other room and then sort of coming back out here, the bodies have disappeared. well as the sort of gluey sap the mimic was sort of leaving behind. It seems to have been cleaned up as well at some point by Rolf. And yeah, he seems to have not gotten too much sleep last night. He's got bags under his eyes. Mostly, though, it seems because he was sort of poring over this place, looking behind crates, looking under sacks. He's less concerned, it seems, about that silver than originally thought. But as he sort of sees you guys waking up, he nods to each of you. Oh, how'd you sleep? Sleep well?
Well, I've certainly slept worse before, but I slept okay.
It was comfy for sure.
I had a good rest.
Like a baby.
It was a bit hard. I haven't really slept on a bed of rocks before, but it's I managed.
Hey, well, once y'all are ready, meet me in the mess. I'll cook us up something. When the rations have been left behind, I can whip them up. And as he walks... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, that'd be really appreciated. Thank you.
As he walks off, you guys are given a moment to sort of collect yourselves. And there's a few things that you guys are noticing even just as you awaken. First thing, Cal, actually all of you notice pretty readily that the air has gotten even colder than it was yesterday. All of you are noticing it rather than just Rask at this point. And Cal, something about the coolness of the air tickles the back of your mind, because you've just sort of erupted onto the forefront of psychic sort of knowledge. You're a little bit more in tune with the fluctuations that occur around you. I would like from you an occultism check.
Okay.
Something doesn't feel right about the way the air is cold around here, but you can't quite tell why you feel that way.
Hey guys, don't you feel this cold a little unnatural?
Unnatural? I don't. Maybe?
It's
I
just
don't know. It's usually pretty cold underground, at least compared to up top.
this is much colder than even we're used to down in the caverns.
I was thinking that too.
Or as you mention up top, again, you're reminded of home. This chill, even, is a strange way of reminding you of home.
Whoa.
But that's it. Hey, you gonna come get breakfast or what?
Let's go get food.
Yeah,
that's right.
let's look into that later.
Hot meal's gonna do good for the cold at least.
Rest scampers off ahead.
Hey, you
You're
might,
gonna enjoy eating something that isn't mushrooms and fish for once.
well, it's some old dried mutton or something. I don't know. It's mystery meat, but it's dwarven mystery meat, so you can trust it a little bit more, right?
Oh, I like meat.
Is it really a mystery if you know it's dwarf?
But it's
I
not
don't-
my own kind. It's
I don't want to eat dwarf.
no, I meant it's a dwarven meat made by dwarves. Forget it. Just
Oh,
have a seat. Might need to move some of the rubble or whatever. But look, I'm not just being nice to you to be nice to you. I need to admit, I greatly appreciate what you've done here, and I can tell you the way to the surface.
Oh,
But,
But
well, let me start, just to be fair to you. You would go back the way you came and follow that fissure if you wanted to go to the surface as quick as possible. It wouldn't be all that dangerous, and I think I know for certain that that route is one of the routes that my clan took back in the day. So I'm not holding you hostage here. I hope you understand.
Well, I didn't think you were holding us hostage.
Thank
You're
you for
holding the
not.
information hostage, you know, figure
Oh.
of speech. But, look, there's more going on here than just regaining this old outpost of ours. The silver, it had already run pretty dry already. The veins were thin, wasn't much worth in keeping this place going at the time. So, this was one of our last ventures before we were going to be bankrupt. This had to work, and it didn't. So we kind of went and looked for other employment up on the surface. Now, our crafts, they're well sought after. Our reputation as a clan is important. And, well, our clan... it's not going to be very fancy. We're Clan Silversmith. Of course, we make silver stuff. Pretty obvious. But,
Silversmith.
you know, it has a different, you know, word in Dwarvish, but in the common language, it's just silversmith, you know. But, anyway, I'm really here looking for a sort of recipe, a process that was stolen from my clan. The old dwarf who knew it by heart only wrote it down once, guarding it well until it was ready for the world. That'd be my uncle Ragnus.
What was the recipe for?
There you go. Something in my throat. Excuse me.
Bless you.
So, Frog?
The recipe, it was for refining this material that had been given to us by these, well, mysterious benefactors. They were humanoid, and about the size of a human, and 5, 6 feet tall, you know. Maybe you've never met a human, but about that size, but we could never see under the cowl or anything like that. I know it sounds shady, and normally my clan wouldn't deal in shady business, but we needed the cash. And to be fair, my uncle was quite interested in perfecting a process for processing this metal that had been previously unknown to us.
That's understandable.
And again,
What
I
kind of
know,
metal is it?
I know you want details, but my uncle was very secretive about it because that's what our employees demanded. Even those within the clan, even his own nephew, I, didn't know much about it. We just did what he asked us to do and disappeared into his room. One night he didn't come back out. Door
What
was
do you mean? Did you guys not go in there and look for him?
Well, of course we did. Just trying to be dramatic here, but look, my uncle's dead. Someone came in there late at night, busted the door down, destroyed all the research, destroyed all the equipment, stole the tablet that it was written down on, and well, killed the only man who knew it. I'm not just here for some dusty old outpost. I'm here for 2 things. The damn recipe back that our clan needs so that we don't go destitute. 2, vengeance for my uncle. Fairly certain whoever did this came down here. Came in this direction, even. Trying to flee from what they did. Even our benefactors are probably unhappy about this too.
It wasn't Ringo or anything, was it?
We don't know. But judging by the way the Haringa were here in this outpost, the way they were acting, don't really think it was them. But the problem is, I heard through some of my contacts that, went deeper in the underground, that there was a figure, unknown, that was making their way through carrying some sort of tablet. It all seemed too convenient to me that this rumor just immediately spread. It's almost as if whoever stole this wants there to be competition over it. Wants there to be fighting between parties to get to him. Or to them, whoever they are. Maybe that's why the Ringar is here.
Maybe.
Well, whoever stole it seems to be a very crafty person, given that they've stole the tab and left no trace of anything to find them by, it seems. Aside from the rumor.
They purposefully left one breadcrumb just to have us competing over it. So, my clan has nothing left to give. There's no more silver to give. Maybe you could mine some out of the walls still, and around here, if you see any, feel free. But this is on my clan's honor. You seem like good people. We don't have it back, we're ruined, and might be afraid to let that knowledge out to, people who seem to covet it. Seem to maybe want to use it for the wrong purposes, too.
The people who gave this away, you don't know if they had skills, do you?
The people who gave this away? What gave what away?
The original information.
You mean the rumors? Or do you mean, like the metal?
The metal.
No, I certainly didn't have scales in them.
Okay. I just wanted to check that.
Sort of humanoid. I don't know much about what's going on. I was hoping maybe some of my clan would come down here to help me. But they're picking up the pieces. Probably. It's a lost cause to them. Something about that chill in the air tells me we're close.
That could very well be.
Oh, so that's not just normal for this outpost. Okay. Gotcha.
Not quite normal, no.
I thought there was something strange going on.
If you aid me, you'll have the debt of my clan. We'll see what we can do for you. But...
Investigating this chill may also protect our own people.
Aye, maybe. Again, you've already done enough. If your path takes you elsewhere, you already know the way out. It's your choice at this point. Can't blame you either way.
Cal, you're with me, right?
I'm not in any rush to go to the surface.
I'm certainly like the sound of earning the undying loyalty of the dwarves, or well, a dwarven clan.
Given all that's happened thus far, an allied clan would be very much appreciated.
You don't need to
We help
say
me out with
undying like
this and we
that.
get you that recipe. You think you can make a nice hat out of that metal?
Oh well. Depends on how far the process is along.
Hey, that's worth it. I'd love to see what a special hat you could make. Let's do that.
Well, prepare yourselves however you may need. I turned this place over looking to see if it was, I don't know, stashed here or something, but it's really not. But I'm gonna still keep looking around just in case anything is here to help us.
And going by the fact that nobody has chimed in yet, I'm assuming that nobody picked up anything like that.
Not from what I've heard or seen, no.
And feel free to explore, find anything out of the walls you want. I think that chill's coming from the north. Or, well, that way. Be here if you need me.
I'm up for this. I say we do this.
Yeah, it sounds like an adventure.
Like you mentioned, if we can protect our people, that's good.
Yeah, this is closer to our village than I'm comfortable with.
We shall return with your recipe.
But I think the failure to
hopefully.
hell is a bit more pressing for
I
your
think that's
village.
a problem, yes. But it's not expanding or anything. Maybe.
Well, I don't know what's wrong with chill. It's a bit homely, I think.
It's abnormal for down here. Even I can feel that.
Chill
Well,
is
it's not the
fine when
most
it's a
abnormal
natural
up
chill.
there.
I certainly feel underdressed right now for this chill.
I wonder
I
who's
know that
responsible
feeling.
for that.
Alright, wait, hey, most of you might not fit in, might be a little bit baggy for you, but, yeah, some winter clothes. We live in a cold place upstairs, so these might help you. Stave it off just a little bit.
I'd certainly appreciate it, thank you very much. A bit simple and rough, but keeping warm is what's important right now.
Maybe that sheepskin will keep you from freezing your balls off at least. You have no. I'm not gonna ask.
I don't think we have.
That's a private matter. Get out of here.
It is. Haha. No. Get out of here. So, what do you guys do?
With her,
With all that clothing, I'm now an all-terrain vehicle.
Oh yeah. For the purpose of it, you guys are just considered as having better clothes fit for it.
oh, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Not a traveler's cloak necessarily, but just not the very light clothes that you're used to wearing in the Ember Shroud.
Yup. Definitely looking at myself.
Chester, did you want to go mine some of that silver before we go?
Yeah, I could take a few swings at it. Get a little bit more since nobody else is. This place.
Dominic just crosses his arms, given the general success we've had with digging so far.
Step
Definitely.
over
Wait, we should probably go with him before more oozes jump him.
Definitely no more oozes here.
it.
Definitely. None more.
Definitely step over some of the oozes remains here, but yeah, there are, bits and pieces, chunks here and there of silver that are still in the wall. Roll me a, let's see, you don't have good skills for this, actually. No, you have a pick. Yeah,
No, I don't.
Just roll me an attack roll then.
Oh. Listen, the pick is just for show, huh?
I mean, maybe. But
The pick
DC
is for killing.
15, these silver veins are pretty open and easy. It does, however, take an hour. So you guys may be, finishing up breakfast while Tresser is out here picking away at it. But it does get you a few silver chunks left over. 3, in fact.
Oh, thank you.
While Trezor was working away, I couldn't help but think about something. Namely, the connection of the request for the silver metalworking and the large chapel with the silver platter below the Kobold village. Surely, there must be some connection. So I assume that whoever the patron might be related or a kind of cousin of mine.
Or they could just be a vendor for silver.
And of course,
More vampires? Is that what you're saying?
there's a chance of it for sure. But this is all just speculation on my part.
It's a bit weird. I thought vampires didn't like silver.
It's related to the moon, and we kind of like the moon.
What's that?
It's a large disk that's very bright in the sky.
It's kind of like the mushrooms on the ceiling of the Ember Shroud when it's nighttime.
Is it just like a big disc of silver, then?
More or less.
Oh,
So it's
Wonder why
up on the
it's-
ceiling?
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
hard to reach.
It's really hard to reach. I don't think anyone's grabbed it. We should try when we get up there.
I just get like a really big ladder or something.
Wesk is looking more and more confused.
Don't take the moon away from us vampires. You've done nothing to deserve that.
I mean, it's just a bunch of
But if
silver
silver,
sitting up there.
if you like silver, then why don't you show up in mirrors?
You're too good to show up in mirrors. It's an added challenge that we impose on ourselves to get ready in the morning.
So wait, are your clothes not visible in the mirror too, or is it just your body? Is it?
I think the general theme is no reflection, so I think that would include my clothes as well.
Ah, okay. That. What would count as something you're wearing? Is if it
Wait, I was thinking about something else. What do you mean he doesn't reflect?
well, clearly there's no. He doesn't really think about his actions after he does them. He just moves on.
I pull out the silver platter from my bag because I
Oh.
still have it.
Mhm.
Oh right, the other kind of reflection.
Oh, you're still holding on to that. That is actually quite nice. Perhaps we can get some information about that in the future.
So I like turn it to see if I can see Starnberg's reflection in it.
You do not. Nor do you see any clothes or a mace or anything like that.
I reach over and put my hand on Starnberg's like side
I'm not a ghost.
and look.
Your hand's still there. He's
That
not.
is
Have a
so
piggyback ride?
weird.
You know, the semantics of my being aside, we should probably get moving.
Okay, sure.
Oh yeah, adventure.
I put the silver platter back away where it belongs in my pack.
All right.
This thing is going to stay with us for the entire campaign.
I mean, the longer we hold on to it, the worse the situation gets, because things will cost more, and it's just worth so little.
Well, the longer you hold on to it, the less reason there is to get rid of it. So,
Right?
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Maybe it
then
gains
more-
value.
And more things we can do about like trying to figure out the reflections mechanics.
Yeah,
mhm.
that's everyone. Yeah, well. Wait, where's Cal?
It's a strange,
Gone.
quantum entanglement sort of thing. Anything quantumly entangled with a vampire also does not reflect in a certain radius.
Wait, so does that mean
No.
that Cal no longer reflects?
It's horrifying.
As you guys round the corner here, you do see that there's a little bit of a divot in the cavern where there's another, small cave here. And quite easily, especially with Cal's torch flickering, you do see the shimmer of silver veins along the wall here as well.
Ooh.
Looks like there's more here, Tresser.
Ah, let's not waste more time, though.
I mean, are we really in a rush?
Someone else could get that recipe if we wait too long.
Yeah, that is a good point. We don't know what that recipe is going to be used for. Who stole it and why?
Plus, the faster we get it, the more respect we'll earn for our speed.
Maybe
Always mine silver later.
maybe it's a material that makes like
Oh.
pretty ornaments or something that you can hang on hardstock.
So I was thinking,
Yeah.
maybe we should, maybe once we get this, you guys should make a holiday out of hanging the ornaments up on your hardstock. Maybe once a year.
That just sounds like. But where would you put those ornaments the rest of the year?
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, that. Why would you even like? Oh, once a year, let's decorate this our heart stock.
Or maybe you could do something special alongside it. Maybe give gifts to each other.
Are you guys making fun of me?
No.
As you guys head away from the outpost, the drop in temperature does become more and more dramatic. Frost begins to form from your breaths. Your fingers grow numb. Your teeth begin to chatter. The stone all around begins to be encased by a layer of shimmering frost, and from time to time you have to steady yourself on icy ground. It's only a short while before the tunnel begins to sort of open up. I'm gonna move you guys to a new scene.
Oh, this is the Christmas episode.
Christmas came early. As you arrive here, rounding this corner, you can see ahead that the stone floor quickly gives way to this rime, this frost, this crystalline powder, even. That, of course, many of you, mostly those from the Ember Shroud, Cal, Tresser, and Rask, have never seen before. It doesn't get that cold at all in the Ember Shroud. It's always a constant, balmy temperature. Change the music. Proceed as you will.
You know, I'm pretty sure that this very localized snowfall is not quite natural.
What fall? Like, is that some kind of liquid? Like, you have waterfalls and lava falls and.
Well, you're not too wrong about it being a liquid. Do avoid the yellow one.
What's wrong with the yellow one?
It tastes like a lemon.
What's a lemon?
It's like a mushroom, but very sour.
Why would you eat those?
Rask,
Whoa.
as you summon your kinetic aura, you realize that the sort of chill that you can summon yourself from within feels more stable in a way than the chill you're feeling around you.
Wild.
But, yes, as you guys step out, you find that the tunnel grows into a much, much larger cavern, crisscrossed by icy stalagmites. Looking upwards, the roof itself glitters with pointed icicles. The whole place has a way of dampening any echo. You step out onto this sort of icy precipice here. It seems to be a pathway that leads across an otherwise sort of frost-filled cavernous space, much of it encased by this thick fog of a sort that doesn't allow you to see down beyond the walkways around you and maybe a few outcroppings as well here. Seems to descend further and further to the east, down into the fog itself. That seems also the only way forward.
This is. I don't like this.
This is amazing.
I think I've got an idea of what might be making this place so cold.
Do share.
Uh, oh, some something from it's kind of a bit like something from a home for me. It's this rock that makes things cold.
Well, then
That
we
sounds
should just
unpleasant.
smash it and be done with it.
A rock that
I mean,
makes things cold?
what's so bad about that? About cold rocks?
What kind of rock is this?
Well, usually it's a one big rock, just sort of floating in the sky. I'm not sure if that's gonna be down. If something like that's gonna be down here or not.
Well, I've certainly never heard of it myself.
Well, as it stands, this big rock seems to be a threat to our dear Kobold friends' village.
Hey, the big rock never did anything to me, so I think it's good.
So far, who's to say it won't happen in the future?
You all step out onto this icy path here. It's not too slippery, certainly cold under your feet, but all around you, everything just feels so damp and so quiet. Your voices, as much as they would be carried in a large space like this, they also feel very damp, very not echoey in a way.
Is there anything that I might be able to do to like suffuse this area with warmth, just to kind of see what happens?
Roll me an occultism.
Unrelated basis, like a sheer drop off the sides here. Making
Well,
sure.
it goes down maybe 5 feet before it hits that sort of bank of frosty fog. You're not sure how far further that goes.
Gotcha. I wasn't
Cal,
sure if that was like going up or going down, terrain
Cal,
wise.
Cal steps away from the ledge.
It's all going down around you. But you're also going down yourselves on a bit of a sort of downcline. What's the opposite of an incline? I guess that's there's no
Decline.
decline. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yes. We usually think of decline as a. Anyway, so.
It's
Man,
still an
word.
incline, just downwards.
Mm.
Out of curiosity, Starbuck is not smelling anything within 30 feet of us, is he?
He's not. No. Cal, as you think about it, well, you summon up some of that sort of spark in your mind, and there's a certain part of you that feels you could localize, like in a very, very small way, sort of like when you do that thermal stasis effect. It seems, it seems almost that what's going on around you is very similar to that. That the air is not just being made cold by something else, like a cold current coming in or something like that, but rather the very heat is being sapped out of the air, molecule by molecule.
We shouldn't stay here longer than we need to. I think we'll all be frozen if we stay here too long.
Of course. Something that I find really noteworthy. Look at these icicles. You know what's really strange about them?
What's so
I'll
weird
tell
about
you. They usually form from water freezing. So they don't fall upward.
It is strange that they are pointing upwards.
So you're saying someone planted these here?
I mean, the water could drip from the ceiling and then freeze as it hits the ground. I think it's a bit weird that they're forming sideways sometimes.
I have a theory. I think these chasms might have actually been like a lake bed of sorts. And something sucked it up.
Roll your sailing lore for me.
Will do.
Like, drank all the water?
Oh, love that.
Well, Rask, you might be onto something. Maybe. You're not sure. But, as you guys are proceeding, what are your exploration activities?
Searching.
I'm just on search.
Looking.
Yep, searching.
Yeah, I'll be searching too.
Okay, everybody who is searching, roll your perception checks.
Double check what
Today's
I
the
had.
day I did not prepare detect metal.
Yeah, I'll be searching too.
Okay. So, first thing you guys notice, and you don't need a perception check for this, there are these little creatures, these little bat-like winged creatures, but having humanoid forms that strike you with a semblance to those steam methods that you fought before. They're sort of clinging to some of the icicles around here, just watching from the darkness, or, well, as you got close to this one, torchlight. That's easy enough to tell. But you also, spores specifically, as you look at some of the icicles around here, some of the sort of ice spikes, some of them look off. They don't look quite natural. They don't have the right sheen to them. They don't have the right, formation. Here, and this one here.
You might be onto something, Rask. These two in particular are really weird.
Hey! Hey! They speak into Lassic, which I believe only Rask can speak.
Huh? What?
This wishy-washy, watery sort of
no.
blubbering almost that gets to the ears of everybody else, but they have a conversation, and Rask, of course, is assumed to be translating the whole time.
Yeah.
Hey, over here!
Who's that? Where are they?
There.
Yeah, you. What are you doing here?
Is it pointing at me?
Pointing at you, idiot! With all that sparkly water running around you.
I will start speaking back in Thalassic.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to you, yes? Yes, I am. I'm wondering why you're here.
It's very simple. I am looking for something that is probably of no value to you.
No value. What are you searching for?
Something with writing on it, I believe.
Writing. I don't know writing. And no writing around here. This is our home. Get lost.
It may be past your home.
There's nothing down there.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all.
Is it just a large void that opens up into nothingness?
It's very frosty, and the fog's everywhere. You won't get far.
I would like to roll insight on if he is lying.
Roll perception.
Well, yes. I would like to check if he is lying. Excuse me.
Sense motive.
In another language.
Yeah,
And as
so the
stated,
translation is difficult.
I am like pausing every once in a while to like share that.
Mm-hmm.
He seems pretty irritated. Maybe he's irritated because it's cold. We just warm it up a bit in here and he'll be happy. Is that a bad idea?
You should, you should tell him that his home is really pretty and that it's not nice not to share it with everyone.
Spores, are you doing
That's a
anything with
good
those
idea.
strange icicles?
Well, I was gonna go look at them closer, but it seems like we're a bit wrapped up in another conversation right now.
Yeah, you can do two things at once.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask about those icicles. Yeah, that's a good idea. Um,
We'll just definitely take a look.
are these icicles? Are these created by you?
Icicles, yeah. No, they're natural. Yes. New nature. Our nature.
New nature.
New.
Uh,
Fresh. Good. Chesser, as you try to bite the
Oh, no.
icicle, and Spores, as you're sort of reaching your hand out, Chesser, all of a sudden, the icicle sort of like cracks and shifts and opens a fanged maw, not unlike a snake, and tries to bite you right back.
Ah! Ah!
Okay.
Damn it, the jig's up! Kill them! Don't let them take our home from us! It's an icicle snake.
I
Ignore the green
suppose
branch.
I suppose that is one way to dispel the illusions, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Break the
Oh
ice.
my goodness, I was just trying to do
Oh
something
my
funny in the
God.
background. Chester's just trying to be curious.
I feel offended looking at this mockery of my kind.
Well, because you bit them, and Spores was already aware this one was also weird, they don't get their stealth initiative, which is part of their whole thing.
Oh my
You are all
goodness.
incredible.
This
Never
is
change.
the most idiotic, beneficial thing I've ever done. in a
I'll be
tabletop
honest.
game.
I was like earlier. I was thinking about like trying to break just one of the icicles for shits and giggles, and this would have been the one I would have chosen.
This is great. I'm so glad we're recording this.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, guys, touch things, bite things, do things. It'll make things happen, certainly. So, with that being said, I think we're gonna start with Starnberg. What do you do to begin things off?
Oh, he's gonna get angry as is standard for barbarians.
Mm-hmm.
For free, obviously, because barbarian things.
Ah, yes, the new sort of, what's it called? Quick-tempered free action that they gave to barbarians.
Yep.
Another reason that inventors are worse is because they have to take an action to get their thing going, and barbarians don't.
An action and a roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. With him now very angry, excuse me, I just realized I have my weapon still in one hand.
Yeah, you could always have it in two hands.
Yes. He is then going to immediately do what everyone did as a child and use a big stick and try to smash the icicles.
Alright.
I'm so relieved you didn't say lick it.
Get your tongue
Not
stuck
that-
that
I'll
way.
watch the
Not that
Christmas
anybody
Story.
did that ever.
19, a critical strike, in fact. As it's sort of uncoiling itself from a larger sort of piece of icicle there, you bring to bear your griffin cane and smash into its form sort of shattering along the side, almost even destroyed at that point, but still holding up.
My, these are quite tough. It'll take more than one swing, but it should be easy enough. Goes for a second swing.
Okay. Roll
You
the
should be a
dice.
poet, Starnberg.
This time missing by 11 instead of critting by 11.
Map times 3, may as well.
Mm-hmm. As you swing one more time, unfortunately, it's slithering away. It's sort of got its bearings and sort of cracked itself so that it's not so sort of stiff after sitting there for so long.
That's my turn.
All right. Now, going to one of these ice methods, very similar in a way to the others that you had fought. This one, as it's sitting on this icicle here, it seems to absorb some of the rime from it almost, to revitalize itself, even if it needed it or didn't need it right now. It's going to fly over to about here. And as it does so, it will unleash from its mouth this breath of shards, this ice cone. Upon 3 of you, in fact, Rask, Starnberg, and Tresser. I need reflex saves.
Alright.
Well,
Goodness.
Starnberg immediately ducking under it, expecting this attack.
Cool.
And Tresser and Rask both also expecting enough of it to avoid the worst. So, each of you takes half of both of these, so 1d6 piercing and 1d6 cold. Just press the half button for each of them. I was expecting you all to be hurt a lot more from that. It'll be its turn. Of course, only Rask can hear what they're saying. Force, as this one also hisses in your face.
Oh, I don't like that. Come on. He's gonna go ahead and back away a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And once he gets right up to the method, and then he casts Gust of Wind.
Okay.
And I'm gonna place that line,
Of course, against these two, right?
yeah, against those two,
All
directly
right.
to the
The opposite.
west. Not like that, but you know.
But yes, both of them failing. They are knocked prone, and this one that was flying, in fact, takes the effects of a
Pushed
critical
30 feet.
failure. Is pushed all the way into the wall here. It smacks against it, takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage if you want to roll that as well. This snake is going to have to grab a ledge because it was pretty much holding onto it, and when it falls prone, when you're holding onto a ledge, well, it might fall off the ledge. So it's going to roll its reflex. It needs a DC. Because it's an ice creature, it has an easier time with the ice, so I'm going to say DC 10. 19. It's just fine, but it's still prone. Helpful to your allies. The other one takes
Right.
that 8 damage. Alright, I'm going to delete this thing because it's working
Yeah,
like
sorry.
5e Gust of Wind as well, as if it's permanent. Yes.
Oh well, technically, like if they
It's like
succeed, they can't move against the wind, but like that doesn't apply if they fail or critical fail.
Yes, they already get blown away. Yeah. One and done. So, actually, yes, that is useful. So, Rask.
Okay. Okay, first, I already have my swirly swirls going.
Mhm.
I'm going to experiment. I'm going to attempt using an ability called Extract Element on the near-death snake.
Okay. As you extend your hand, you can begin to sap the cold from them, as of course they are creatures with the cold trait. I'm going to roll a fortitude save. It rolls a 6. It fails pretty badly. Takes full damage, as well as all this word salad here. Your impulses bypass any immunity the creatures has to their elemental trait, so you could hurt them with cold damage, and the target takes -1 to its saves and AC against your impulses. Wow, that's really powerful. Ignores the resistance, and then... Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Take a lot of damage from that too, as you sap the cold from them.
It was the...
Oh, sorry,
The
was it the
snake.
snake? Okay. Snake almost dies from that. It's looking very weak. It's almost falling apart. It still survives.
Huh. Noted.
Oh, one last
All
impulse, right?
I will... Hold on. Impulse, kinesis, promo... Okay. I'll try to finish it off with a basic blast.
-1 circumstance. It's already got -1 circumstance because it's prone, but
I might as well hit it with cold since wait, will it do that effect? Hold on.
yeah, it bypasses immunity
Ignore the resistance.
and ignores resistance to that element as well.
Yeah. Might as well just do that. So hit it with the blast.
Fighting ice with ice. All right. It will be hit by that as you send this icicle towards it.
That's pathetic.
It's at 1 health because you dealt 1 health to it. Well, it should actually take 1 health, but it's still taking it as if it's immune. There we go.
Yeah.
It's
I
at
can
1
see how that might become a problem.
Nah, it's fine. It's a cool effect.
Does extract elements? Can you use it more than once on the enemy?
Let's see. You can't target a creature with the extract element if the elemental matter you extracted from it is already in your kinetic.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So I already have that creature's matter.
Yes, you already
Okay.
have cold. So the aura around you usually is water, but now it's more of an icy sort of icicle.
Yeah.
Flavor.
So because I already extracted from that creature, that sounds like then I cannot do it again unless.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So if I want to finish it off, I'm just really gonna need to use another attack. So let's do that.
The dice, it's fighting for its
Cool.
life.
I'm not even gonna bother with a hero point on that. It was a map attack.
Mm-hmm. For 16 on the
Still,
dice.
that was an experimental turn. It gives me ideas about how to handle these things,
Mm-hmm.
etc.
Chesser.
Alrighty. This one's near death. I could probably hit it and kill it, but first, I'm gonna see if I can get an exploit vulnerability off on the elemental over
Mhm.
here.
The ice method.
13 should definitely succeed. What one thing do you want to know about them through your diverse lore?
Any special abilities?
Its special ability, you sort of saw a hint of it, but if they are touching ice or snow, they gain hit points. Fast healing too whenever they start their turn, essentially. This one
Alright.
is touching the wall because it got slammed into it.
In that case, I'm gonna use my other 2 actions to stride and strike.
Okay. Knowing that they could reconstitute, you want to finish it off. 18 on the dice should certainly do it. That's a critical strike.
Let's go, baby!
Partly because we switched you on to having 3 strength, so you actually hit things. Yes. There we go. It is destroyed.
Dresser just runs up and just shatters this elemental with a
As
big
it shatters, the pieces fall into the
Oh,
crevice
no.
below.
This ice stuff doesn't really fare well against pickaxes. Anyways, that's my turn.
Alright, and
Don't you know
now...
more about ice because Rask keeps making it?
What do you mean?
He kept making like this bow and arrow out of ice.
Yes. I
Dresser's
make
definitely seen
ice.
it before.
That helped. But, Cal, what do you do on your turn?
He's gonna focus to try to bring some of that heat back into this area, and he's gonna cast Ignition on this near dead one. Wait, I can actually do this as a melee attack
Yes, you can.
with reach.
Oh, yeah. Using the melee, increase the reach by 5. Yes, so you definitely slam it into it. As it was like being battered down by Starnberg and sucked out of its ice by Rask, you switch it up and finish it off. No matter what you roll, it's at 1 HP. But still, of course, roll.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's weak to fire, right?
Oh yes, it sort of melts away from that, so you can definitely tell that it's weak from this. Yeah, I'll like click it so.
Alright, Starbrick, you take care of the next one that comes over here. I'm gonna cast guidance. Starbrick.
Okay. Just God. Also, the torch is kind of because of how the the fog is. It's sort of like glowing as if fog would be, which is kind of cool. But it's also like bright. Turn it
Turn off
back
the
on.
torch.
I actually,
Turn it back on.
I actually prefer it, just because it shows a little bit more of the color.
Yeah.
It's fine. So, who's next? The icicle would be, but it's dead. Oh wait, no, it's this icicle. Okay, never mind. Yes. So, this icicle snake. It is going to slither over towards spores, still after them, and go for a simple bite. And on the dice, with your shield raised, they can't get past it. You're gonna go for one more. But, again, can't really get past your defenses. That's all it can really do. It was relying sort of on that ambush that it didn't get. Speaking of ambushes, though, this one sort of flies through these two icicles and sort of like grasps onto both of them as it attacks Rask with a claw. Is our place now? But fails to hit. Oops, did I do them in reverse? I think I did. We'll just say that they delayed their turn behind each other's. My mistake. There we go. This one spends its whole turn flying over towards spores. It makes its way through the icy fog here. Starnberg, your turn.
Rask, you've got this one covered, right? I can just help out voice here.
Of course.
Wait, just wait a moment. Wait until after me. I just want to do something real quick.
Oh, of course. Let me just look.
Alright.
And that thing is Gale Blast.
Alright. So, with that, that is 5-foot emanation around you. Yes. So,
Yep.
these two guys make
Yeah.
fortitude saves.
He whirls his staff, and there's a bit of spark flying as a wave of wind emanates from him.
And that wind carries with it that ice method pretty easily as it's sort of carried on the wind. As it flaps around trying to hold its own, it will take the double damage and be pushed 10 feet away from you. 8.
Wonderful.
And the little snake doesn't take too much of the wind, takes only 2 damage, but it is also, yes, thrown back.
Something. And then he's gonna use his last action to raise his shield once more.
Okay. A good turn. Starnberg
Yep,
now,
that's all for me.
as Sforce clears the way.
He's gonna move on right over.
Mm-hmm.
And he is, hopefully not flanking, gonna bring his cane down on this icicle snake.
Sure. Almost natural 20 went to the 2. That is going to be a miss.
I'm gonna hero point that.
Okay. Or not much better. It's just barely avoiding your strike, even while it's flanked.
I'm gonna go for a map attack
Okay. Use all your luck up very quickly.
with backswing.
Well, there. Okay, never mind. Natural 20. Swing it back around. It doesn't expect it to come. Deal a lot of damage to it.
Still, you snake. Snake in brackets derogatory or something.
Says you.
Are you sure it's supposed to look like you? It doesn't even have any limbs.
Well, exactly. That's why I feel so offended by it.
Rask, your turn.
All right. Well, coming up to the one that's on my face, I'm going to where to put it? Where to put it? Extract elements. Extract elements on it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Rolls its fortitude. Tries to keep the effect at bay. It will fail.
So we'll start with that 2d4.
Hmm. And it's mine.
And I'm going to put in full force into this blast, so 2 actions.
Mm-hmm. -1 to its AC because you extracted its elements. It's fully susceptible. Should be fully susceptible. Yeah, that is a hit. Solid one.
I was hoping for the big money.
Oh, good money on the damage dice. 10 in total. Well, okay. Still have to do manual. There we go. It's new
I
die.
always pick the things that make you work harder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's my fault for throwing an ice zone at you.
I mean, I was prepared for it. I'm like, I get to use my ability. That was a full turn.
Alrighty. Tresser, over to you now.
Alrighty. I'm gonna use 2 actions to stride here between the badly injured snake and the near death method
Mm-hmm.
elemental. I keep calling them that because that's what they're called in 5e.
Yeah.
Alrighty, then I have 1 action to strike. I'm gonna strike the elemental I have a vote I can exploit.
Sure thing. Your pick is sort of warmed up by some warming stone that you brought with you, and
Explode to
again,
bits.
it is not surviving.
Bluey.
Slam into it with a tricky pick. Fatal D10s are going to eviscerate this creature, sending its shards shattering into the abyss.
Bye bye. Man, I don't even need the fire weakness. Anyways, that's my turn.
Miko cheers you on. He's clearly loving this.
Miklo
Thaumaturge
does.
is great
Who's
when
Miklo?
they get what they need.
Rask is cheering you on.
Cal, your turn.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, Cal's in a little bit of an issue here because his next spell is going to do cold damage. He concentrates and thinks for a moment before changing what he's doing.
Maybe.
He's going to unleash Psyche.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to use Needle Darts instead of an ice spell.
Alrighty.
On the Frosting.
Frost snake, the icicle snake. Alright. Let's attack. You sling off these darts. Does certainly hit. See how much you can do. At this level, your spells are heightened, so they get a lot more, and the Unleash Psyche. That's the big part about the Psychic getting increased damage on spells. Kind of like Marshall does increased damage on like Rage and stuff. It is dead. It is sort of eviscerated by these many darts.
In my last action, I'm going to use. Where is it? Kobold teaching is to assist somebody when they attack that method next. And that's my turn.
Okay. There's no going back. This one is not touching the ground, so it didn't get that fast healing. Gonna go here, and it's going to try for a breath. 15-foot cone, which will hit Spores, Tresser, and Rask. I need a reflex save.
Here it comes.
Easy peasy.
These shards sling out for you guys.
Good enough.
As far as you are getting the brunt of it being right in front, so you'll take full damage.
Not easy peasy.
Piercing and ice. Total of 9. The Rask and the Tresor take the halves. That's all it can do though, as it's trying to defend what it calls its new home. Force.
Ow. Not a fan of that. Well, Spores is going to retaliate with a Tempest Surge.
Hmm. Make a
Let's-
reflex.
It's a newly more powerful blast of lightning ever
Mhm.
since it level up.
Lightning to
Yeah, just-
by D12s is really, really good.
Yeah,
That spell scales.
that's the longest fingers and
Mhm.
zaps
Haha.
the fella.
As all of a
That
sudden you're able to
hurts.
summon up even more of a surge around it. It's sort of covered in this blanket of lightning, and as the lightning falters, so too does it. It falls into the abyss. That is that. Give yourselves 80 experience points.
Wonderful.
That wasn't so bad at all.
What I'm
As I
really
said-
curious about are the snakes. What do they eat? What eats them? How do they fit in the
Those-
ecology?
Didn't these creatures seem a little
What about them?
It's out of place.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. They're a bit like Rask, I think.
I'm not at a place.
Is the entire surface like this?
Well, no, this is underground. So,
No, I meant like cold.
oh, sometimes.
Oh,
Source over here. It's time.
Chris and Cal,
I know.
give yourselves hero points.
Professor and
Cal.
okay.
You know, these things certainly seem like pushovers.
7 for
I-
source.
I doubt they were the ones who created this whole cavern.
Bits of water.
11 Tresser.
A bit more powerful than it was before.
Thank you.
Is it still possible to recall knowledge on those snakes?
Yeah. Roll me a
What
Arcana
roll
or
would it
Nature.
be? Gotcha. I'm gonna go for nature. Just
Mm-hmm. You're not quite sure exactly what those things are. They don't look like any sort of beast. They're certainly like more elemental in nature,
yeah.
but that's
Fine.
about it.
Oh, because it's a forces check.
Here's something I'm curious about. I'm going to try something, guys. I'm going to go up to one of these icicles. I guess a small one, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to try using some base kinesis to see if I'm able to draw out some of the cold matter within the icicle and kind of destroy parts of it. It's probably only going to be like little bits at a time at my level,
Well,
just to see if I'm able to affect it.
roll me a roll me an impulse check, sort of like your you know, in an assist modifier. I guess +9 for your blasts.
Bam.
It takes a lot more effort than it should. It feels like this matter is foreign to you. It doesn't feel as natural in a way. But you're eventually able to exert your control over it. Something different about it.
Yeah. That is interesting. It's really, really hard for me to work with this stuff. That tells me a lot. It doesn't tell me enough, though.
Did it? So they said it's their new home, right?
They also called it New Nature.
New nature. I don't. Hmm. I like old nature the way it is. I don't think we need this new nature stuff.
I'm inclined to agree.
You know, back in my day, we only had one nature.
I don't know what's
Right.
capable of producing an effect like this.
Something that really
Could it
lacks
be
ice, I
linked
would
to an
imagine.
element? Could it be linked to another elemental plane?
No, that's just the thing, Rask. You have that feeling of that link to another plane. This stuff doesn't feel like it's elemental. Sort of like as if it were
Right.
coming from a pure plane.
It's definitely not. And I feel like I would know because I think that's where my powers are from.
Okay, so it's not like you.
Wait, like you import the magic? Yeah, you like import magic like trades.
That might that kind of makes sense. Yes.
Then what do you give it? Or do you give it anything to get that power? I mean, I assume you were given it, not chosen. I mean, like, you didn't choose to have it, you just have it.
I definitely did not choose to have it.
I mean, hey, of random gifts, that's a pretty good one. You're
I mean,
doing
you
a
can choose
lot
to
with
not
it.
have it by just never using it.
It awakened. Rest just suddenly stops talking and starts moving.
Yeah, it does
When
seem like it
I
awakened.
wake up.
Let's go.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Right. As you guys are heading forward, it's a bit treacherous here. The path narrows and also sort of has these sort of crenulations. Not exactly like cut out steps, but certainly belies going downward. Shouldn't be too difficult. Proceed as you
Yeah.
will.
We'll just take it slow, everybody.
Tresser, just make sure to bite all the icicles on the way, okay?
No.
I'm gonna move at a fairly slow pace,
Didn't taste
Mhm.
very good.
so I can keep an eye out for patches of ice on the ground that might be treacherous.
Sure thing.
Unsalted water.
No, I
Gross.
guess Force would have to stay behind, huh?
As you guys are
Actually,
moving
would the
forward.
icicles have been salty or not?
Well, if you tasted one. Are you tasting one?
I guess I am.
Lick it.
Lick.
Oh god.
I need a fortitude save.
Of course.
Death
Is that
save.
cold?
Oh.
I'll miss you.
You get your tongue stuck on the ice. It's freezing cold, and the saliva already sort of solidifies on your
Uh.
tongue.
Tresser.
Is at least
Steinberg, can you break the icicle off?
I could, but it is
No.
incredibly funny to watch him.
Don't worry, I've got this. Cal raises a hand and just ignites.
Wasn't it supposed to be cold next?
Cal brings the hot, fiery hot hand closer and closer to Tresser.
I'll hold Tresser.
Cal, roll
Force covers
me
his eyes, he can't watch.
roll me your spellcasting mod.
Oh, no. Chester is very much distressed watching this.
But Cal, you've taken to your new powers well. You finally sort of just melted enough. You don't burn his tongue or anything like that.
Ah, 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 yeah,
Wouldn't it have been more enough to, and infinitely more safe to just hold the torch near it?
uh, that. I have no idea what it tastes like. That revealed nothing. It tastes like nothing. I couldn't feel my tongue.
No, you
Well,
can
maybe you
at
should
least
try
tell
it
it's
again.
not salty. It is not salty.
Not salty. That's weird.
He tastes. Hey, that's actually a good thing for the village. You get a nice source of fresh water right nearby.
So it's like the water that I pull a lot of times.
Professor, it's weird because it almost tastes like, you know, like too purified water, like hyper purified water tastes weird. Like it doesn't have any minerals at all.
Yeah.
Kind of tastes like that.
Ah, that's that's the worst. That's the worst water I've ever tasted. What the? Yeah.
How much water have you tasted?
A surprising amount actually. Not drinking water is very bad for you.
Very true. Which is why I diligently do my service to this team by making sure you all stay hydrated.
And thanks, Cal.
No problem. I'm glad it worked. I didn't like burn you.
Yeah, that could have gone very badly.
I mean, it's just like eating hot soup, right?
You eat hot soup, you always burn yourself.
Rask, as you head forward, as you're going downwards too, of course, on this decline or this downward incline, you start to hit the layer of fog that sort of permeates this whole space, starting to dip underneath it. All around you, it's getting harder and harder to see, which may be quite treacherous, of course, as you're on this precipice.
Challenging. I can try clearing it from the air within my aura, but it's really thick and really hard for me to work with.
Could roll your fortitude.
Roll fortitude.
Or rather, no, your elemental modifier, so +9.
Hey,
I put the DC at 20. It's difficult, and you probably can't keep it up for long, but you do, just as you sort of did with the misty geysers before, you sort of create this aura around you that's cleared of this thick, frosty fog. You have this bubble almost around you, forming a layer of ice as you move along.
it's taking like all my concentration to do this.
Even so, as Rask is clearing the path, there's not too much room inside the aura, and there are some narrow bits. I need everyone to make a perception check. They're like watching their own footing.
Okay.
Of course, a lower DC because Rask is helping a lot.
Thank you.
Wow.
I'm
Oh.
re-rolling.
Okay. So,
Goodness.
everyone's doing quite well. Even Tresser. It's because of that lower roll. But, Sternberg, unfortunately for you, you don't find all that much room to maneuver here as you're trying to keep up with the party. You don't notice a sort of thinner sheet of ice that's on the side of the precipice that you put your foot down on, and all of a sudden the weight falls out from under you, and you sort of slip onto the side precipice. I need a reflex save. Grab the ledge.
Well,
Luckily, though, even as icy as it is, the DC was 17. You hold on. Trouble getting up by yourself, though, as icy as it is.
That's the only thing he could do.
a little hand here, and maybe a bit more aura so I can see where I can walk.
Press grits his teeth.
His voice tries to help him up.
Also, kind of elbow Tresser.
Mm-hmm.
Two little kobolds just sort of straining to pull him up by the arms.
You guys are able to bring him up.
Yeah.
Watch out there, big guy. You wouldn't want to plunge into the abyss.
Well, if there was more to, well, see, I wouldn't be able to slip like that.
Maybe we should hold hands so no one that doesn't happen again.
Don't touch my hand.
Okay.
I'm moving forward again.
Alright. As you delve deeper and deeper into the fog cover, sort of this frosty fog, you're all also noticing the cold more than you have before. It's sort of eked its way through the winter clothes that you were given, and at this point, I want a fortitude save from everybody. Now a test of your body's ability to resist the cold, to regulate its temperature.
I'm just rolling force today.
Mm-hmm. EC was 15 on that. So, Tresser, Steinberg, you each take 1d6 cold damage. Ew. get the impression that as long as you stay down here and you don't have a solid source of warmth, we'll continue to take that damage at short intervals of time. So, use your time wisely.
You should hurry. The cold is getting to me.
All right, sounds good to me.
Me too.
You all continue along, though, through the cloud cover. It's touch and go for a bit, but as you're all sort of getting a little bit more in tune with how to walk, how to keep very close to Rask and stuff like that, you eventually start making your way out of the cloud cover, out of the fog cover. It seems almost that the fog is layered at a certain level, almost like, again, clouds, not just like a fog that would hug the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And as you step out from it, you're still on a bit of a sort of walkway here, but the walkway takes a different shape. It takes a manufactured shape. A bridge of stone, still filmed with ice, but a bridge pushes out ahead of you for maybe 10 feet before it suddenly drops away, crumbled, seemingly in times past. But you also get a chance to glimpse the rest of the cavern that stretches out to a huge area before you. So I move you guys over to a new scene. Rask, your initial inclinations seem to have been correct. There is a massive amount. Oops, I need to put you guys up 20 feet because you're up. Of water. Though all frozen over here. Never seen anything like it. Always seen the waters of your home swish and swash all over. Here, though, they're still, silent.
Could I be casting a spell as part of an exploration activity?
Absolutely. It is loud, because you are doing the enunciations, unless there's something about the psychic that prevents that. But a large, large cavern stretches out before you, a little bit less seemingly taken by frigid fog, and more below that layer of cloud that still clings above you all the way towards the end of these broken bits of bridge that maybe used to cross a warm water lake, towards what seems to be some sort of building that stretches the gap between the cavern walls east to west, blocking any passage further, it would seem.
It really seems like maybe whoever is holding on to the recipe actually doesn't want anyone coming to them, because this seems like a very far way down to go.
Starnberg points to the side, or to the right-hand side, where someone seems to be collapsed in a cavern.
See a corpse that seems to be sort of half covered by some sort of snow over there.
That certainly doesn't strike me as inviting. I'm inclined to agree.
We're 20 feet up, above this frozen lake.
Well, first things first, let's try to get down.
Yeah,
Suppose we could do that?
I'm gonna put a pipe into the ground, tie off a rope, get ready to climb down.
Okay.
Not a pike, a python.
How far can you jump without like taking full damage or whatever
5
or
feet.
whatnot?
As soon as you
Nice.
go to 10 feet,
Gotcha.
you start taking damage.
I have this, so I can just
Oh, well.
climb down a little bit and then hop the rest of the way.
Yeah. I'm gonna say because of, the rope and stuff, you don't have to make any checks or anything like that. However, I do want the rest of you to make a DC 10 athletics check. Just because it's a little bit difficult, even with the rope, to like get your feet sort of held onto the edge, and you might sort of like lose your grip at some point.
Well, at least I'm consistent today.
30, 20, let's
At least
go.
it's DC 10, so. Well, you're either consistently very, very good with a bunch of natural 20s or not. But yeah, once you guys are down here, right-click your token and put yourself down to 0 feet.
Sorry, this is athletics to do this?
Yes. Cal definitely sort of slings down.
Like
He also has
Spider-Man?
he also has catfall, so he probably just like lets go of the rope.
Oh yeah, and Rask, it's a little bit touch and go, but you make it down. Yeah, make sure to right-click your token and put your height down to 0.
Wait, I am an expert in acrobatics. I could just jump off free.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What about
Good.
that?
So the ice on this lake, does
Mhm.
it seem secure?
Well, roll me a nature.
I think we probably should have figured that out before we came down.
Or maybe ask a friend
Well,
to
it's
roll
kind of
nature.
hard,
Yeah,
20 feet
Cal.
up.
Cal asked that out loud.
Of
Thank you.
course, stepping foot on the lake here in your slippers, you hear just a bit of that sort of snapping sound that would occur when ice is under stress. Certainly could, if you weren't careful, collapse.
Good thing he landed on the bridge and he jumped down. Definitely.
Right. It's cropping out, you know. This section of the bridge seems to have sort of fallen in and then got frozen over at some point.
You'll have to excuse me when I
Yep.
say that I'm gonna
Wait.
be going last here. I'm a bit more heavy set than you all.
Do you
Alright.
guys see that over there?
It looks like
Are you
there's
talking
a
about the
ledge
course?
there, so we might not actually see that.
No, you
See
do.
it over there.
You saw it from the top of the bridge, certainly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
how high
Stunberg
up?
pointed it out earlier.
And how high up is that cliff there, or that ledge?
That little ridge is maybe only 5 feet. Not difficult to get up.
Sounds trivial. Let's go that way.
I want to get out this ice as soon as possible.
And that's the shortest path.
Good idea.
Okay. As you guys start making your way across the ice, trying to go quickly, I do want an acrobatics check from each and every one of you.
Thank goodness, that's something I'm good at.
Uh-oh.
I should have rolled sooner. Cal took my 20.
Again, the DC, when you're not under any stress, is just 10. You all start to make your way across. Though you recognize that if you went very slow, maybe only, your speed in 6 seconds, you wouldn't have to make the acrobatics check. Because you're just sort of very carefully getting across the ice. Slower.
Yeah. Slow sounds good to me.
Cal ice skates.
There's no reason to rush.
He does a twirl.
Mm-hmm. Very easy to do so. Make it over here. The ledge is easy to clamber up on. Into a bit of packed snow here. Find,
Sturberg walks with shaky legs.
Oh, there's more.
find a
Oh, the
cavern.
whole,
Oh, I think
the
they're
whole
all dead.
party.
A whole party of people. But
What are
not
these
just any
things?
people. Of course, as you get closer, you recognize that they are dwarves. Not just any dwarves. They look to be Ringar. Sort of
They're not
ashen-skinned
the-
dwarf that you fought earlier.
They're the same ones that ran away? Or,
Roll me a perception check.
oh boy.
There's this large amount of rime over them. It's hard for you to tell. They're just covered in ice, but they have that, of course, same stature. You're just not sure if they're the same people that ran off.
They all look the same anyways.
Anybody
Gotta
else?
say, if it really is them, it seems like a very appropriate end for them after squatting in our friend's hold, freezing to death in the outside.
I'm gonna check to see if there's enough wood and stuff to get the bonfire going again.
Well, you could certainly take apart some things. There's like a bundle of torches. There's not really any hard stalk around to like make a complete roaring fire, but it certainly might help you. As Rask is doing that, is anybody else doing any investigations of their own?
Yeah, I want to see if there's anything left over here in the camp.
Sure.
I want to see what may have killed these dwarves.
I'm gonna look for like traces of anything that may have, well, ambushed them.
All right,
Just
so
gonna
that'd be a
search for anything
survival.
tablet. Like,
Survival for traces, and Tresser, that would be medicine.
Oh, I'm not good at survival. Anyone would like to check for traces in my stead?
alright, I'll do it then instead of what I was
Thank
gonna
you.
do.
Tresser, you don't know what you're doing, you realize.
Yes, I'm terrible at this.
Somebody else can help.
Maybe the doctor can.
As far
Step
as though,
aside, let me look at this.
you notice that, well, there are traces of a struggle, certainly. In fact, there are claw marks in the snow, large ones, about the size of your head. Sternberg,
Uh,
going along with that, there are claw marks in the bodies of these Hringar, and bite marks from some razor-sharp teeth. But also, their bodies seem to be particularly iced over. This isn't just frostbite, this is icing on the cake, so to say.
They were bitten and then frostbitten.
can I identify what kind of animal these marks could come from?
Roll me a nature. As far as, well, something of very similar make to your own, but much bigger.
Giant
Something
kobold
like
got them.
something like this. I stand in front of Sternberg so that there's no risk, and I point toward the opening where there's no risk of hitting anybody. And I'm going to fire off a we call it a tidal hands, but I'm doing it with like ice and snow, making a big cone that's like going out toward the exit.
Okay.
Just kind of like demonstrating what I think it looks like.
Something like that could have done it. Something that would completely cover them in ice. Though, as you send that off, Chester, Svors, I want you two to roll me a perception check. Something's not adding up. Literally. But your characters
Oh
can't
boy.
tell. As you don't realize, there were only 3 dwarves that fled. There's 4 here. One of them looks exactly carbon copy as the other. As you're looking down at them, their head twists with a crack towards you, and their body rises up in this icy amalgamation, this reflection of them when they were alive. These carbon copies, but not them at all. I need your initiatives.
Don't like that.
I see statues that look exactly like them. 4 of them. What?
This is terrifying.
I'm terrified for my life right now. Oh no!
And with that, they seem to easily get the jump on you guys, as all of a sudden they all sort of arise out of the snow and silently raise these icicle-like knives towards Tresser first. I'm gonna, of course, change the music here.
Before we start combat, can
Yes.
we take 5?
Oh yes, we should. Let's do that. So, we'll take a break here. See everyone in 5. Be right back.
Bye bye.
Alright, let's get back into it. Welcome back, guys. So, as these creatures sort of made themselves out to be the dead, they have sort of risen up as these ice sculptures, and bearing these icy knives, they're going to strike at Tresser, starting with them.
No.
Tresser, you are hit. The ice is brought to bear. Take 10 damage in total. Goes for another strike. And this time, still hitting actually, with the map because of, or partially because of the flank. Take 8 more damage there, but it takes some time to rush away sort of into the corner. Not really willing to stay in full melee. This one also. This one will instead, as it's looking at you, Tresser, you see its face sort of flash, as if you're looking back on yourself, as if it is making a reflection sort of on its icy exterior, and it sort of puts you off a little bit. It's going to make a deception check to feint against you, put you off guard if your DC, or if your perception DC is lower than that, which it is not. Go for a strike.
Oh, goodness.
Misses that. It goes for one more, though. As you're holding it off, trying to, it does get a lucky strike in. You had been so surprised by their sudden appearance. Take 20 damage in total.
No.
They're sent to the
Oh my
ground
goodness.
just as quickly as this ambush started. Swars, I go to you.
Spores jerks and reflexively zaps 2 of them. The
Okay.
one that downed Tresser and the one right next to him.
Alright. Testing their reflexes. For one of them, not so great. The one in front of you. Take the full damage.
Something. Wonderful.
Takes 5, the other takes half. They do seem to be fully susceptible to it, though.
That's good. From there, he's going to also reflexively raise his shield,
Okay.
and that's all for his turn.
Now, to this one here. This one will go for a icy shell attack, forming their icy exterior into a weapon.
Oof.
You hit Rask for a bit of damage that ice brought with it as well. Is then going to rush across the way, again, seemingly skirmishers. You take that 11 damage. They're going to, while departing, send an icy shard back towards you as well, reminiscent of your own magic. Dealing another 11
Does this have
damage.
priority?
What has priority?
He's shard. Sorry, it's just a joke.
Oh, okay. That'll be their turn.
Painful.
Tresser, over to you.
I'm unconscious.
Oh, yes. Which is why it should have moved you. Let me see. There we go. Okay.
I'm dying 1, right?
Yeah, dying 1. No, dying 2 because went down to a crit.
This is a crit. Yay.
Where's that one? Alright, Starnberg, over to you.
So he's still not back yet.
Oh, isn't he? He's muted.
It's not muted. It's just not back.
Okay. Feel bad delaying because there's an enemy here that he could bring down, so we'll just wait a moment to see if he gets back.
So how's the weather?
Cold? Yeah, it has been getting colder. Hmm? He did message me that he needed to go to the bathroom like 30 minutes ago, but I didn't really see it. So,
Yeah, now it's coming back to bite.
yeah, I don't have my Discord on the side while I'm
Oh,
running the
excuse
game.
me for the wait.
Oh, hey, welcome back. Your turn. Chester is down.
Alrighty. Oh boy. First up, let me retroactively use my quick tempered.
Mm-hmm.
Rask also has not healed anybody yet, so, you know.
Oh, okay, thank you. Once again, going into this feral stance, Starbuck is going to move and help keep one of them away from Rask.
Okay.
Move over here to try and take out this one.
Cool. I'll pick up Tresser.
Miss by 1.
Annoying. I'm going to go for a map attack.
Okay.
Shoot. That has backswing, not that it matters.
Not that it does. Unfortunately, at least you're giving this one some company over here in the corner as they're deflecting what they can. So, with that, this one here, just as well, send out attack. It's 4s. 4s, you have your shield raised, and it's helping you deflect these attacks. It goes for another one. So this one, just barely,
Oh.
even with the shield raised, does get past it, dealing a little bit of damage to you, not all that much. But in their strange way, they are going to mirror their ally down here, getting into a flank against Starnberg as they rush past you.
Wait, actually, I'm going to have shield block.
Oh, shield buck, yes.
Yeah, it's a thing. I forget.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. I always forget to do that.
You have 4 hardness on that shield. So,
So I'm taking 3 damage.
mm-hmm.
And so that's the shield.
Yeah, so the shield is down to, oh, it has 20 HP, it's fine.
Cool.
Rask.
Alright, first thing I've got to do is channel elements.
Mm-hmm.
Get my aura going, and that'll also give me a free attack against an enemy of my choice. I hit the one next to me due to flank. Let's go for a bludgeon on him.
Alright.
So a big glob of water, hitting it with full rerolling.
Alright, that's what the hero points are for.
Hitting
Much
with full
better.
force.
15. Nearly a crit. Is it taking into account? Yes, it is. Nearly a crit. Still, though, good damage. As though this bludgeoning water hits it, its shell, that sort of icy exterior, seems to crack and fall apart. It's a shell block. But, because you hit it with a bludgeoning attack, the shell is shattered, leaving them with more of a aqueous, watery sort of exterior instead. Changes things, certainly.
Intriguing. Well, I made a promise and he gotta fulfill it, so I rush over to Tresser for some healing.
This guy back.
Ocean's Balm, there it is. 10 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Apply Ocean's Balm to yourself. I don't know if fire's going to come into play at all, but you never know.
It's the other side of the coin. Not too useful, that effect here.
It's been very incredible in some other fights, though.
Thank you.
And there's my full turn.
Okay. So, Tresser's back in action. Cal, over to you.
Alright.
Tough fight ahead of you.
Indeed. I'm gonna start with cold this time, actually.
Okay.
Be a little tactical thinking here. And I'm gonna use frostbite on the guy next to Tresser.
Alrighty.
I guess we'll see if they're fully immune to ice or not.
Well, I'll roll their save. They do succeed. Roll your effect up to chat, and we can see that they are immune. Yes, they are cold creatures. They are made of ice.
Alright.
That's
Well,
not so nice.
I'm gonna use shield as my last action. That's
All
my turn.
right. Pulling up a mental barrier. Now, back to this one here. As it faces off in the corner against Starnberg, it is all... actually, no, it doesn't need to do that. What it will try to do, to start things off, is grab a hold of you so that they can maintain this advantage. But as it sort of grasps out for you, Starnberg, you sort of bludgeon them back.
Hands off of me.
Instead of trying to grab, they try to strike. That's 20 went to the 2. They miss. There's their allies here. They're gonna stay put. Trying to go for one more attack, trying to get lucky with it, but fail. They'll hold their ground.
Their Apple Knight.
So, Tresser.
Alrighty. First, I'm gonna get up.
Mm-hmm.
Second, I'm going to try to use my exploit vulnerability on the guy in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, of course they're weak to fire.
Very weak to fire. And what one thing do you want to know otherwise?
Any special abilities?
So, you haven't seen it yet. You've seen that they have that shield block and stuff like that. But if they are in that aqueous form, their attacks may be able to push you, as per the push ability. Nothing more pertinent than that you haven't already known.
So their weakness to fire might not be as good as advantageous as we think. Okay. For my last action, I can either strike or stride away.
But what use is running when you have enemies on your ass?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, you can do some damage too.
Striking him.
As you do, once again, this one will see it coming and use their shell block to resist some of the physical portion of this damage. But because you're bringing
Good thing
some
I'm hitting his weakness.
because you're bringing some fire with it, take the total of 13, then plus 5 back. But again, because some fire is brought with this attack as well, the shell breaks and they become more of that aqueous sort of reflective pool instead of that full sort of solid icy shell.
Interesting. Anyways, that's my turn.
So, in this form, they sort of call out to their allies. Don't falter. The Master has protected us thus far.
Is this in common?
It is in Thalassian. Once again,
The
Thalassic.
master.
Blah 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 blah.
I say in common, the master.
They're going to send off a wave attack against Tresser here, as the water sort of plumes out from them. They're just barely missing. They're not getting support from allies. They go for another. They do hit this one. But, again, because they're not sort of infused with that cold anymore, because their shell is broken, they don't do as much damage. They don't bring with it that cold
I'm
damage.
using my amulet to guard some of that damage.
Alrighty. Even better.
That did not work.
Wonder why it didn't. You had everything up. It's 2 plus your level, right?
Yeah, so that should be
5 back.
5.
Still, holding your own against it. Seeing as you're a tougher nut to crack now, it's going to sort of move away a little bit, giving itself some distance. Boars.
Would you like to have a bit less stab wounds on you, Dresser?
Please.
Alright. Swart's gonna cast a 2-action heal on him.
Alright.
Thank you.
Fusion of life. $14.
Oh, it's beautiful. I can breathe again.
And back up goes Swart's shield.
Alright. Holding your own, focusing on casting, not trying to move around much. This guy here, they're going to see that. They're not going to let you just fend your ally so easily. They bring up the icy shell, shatter it against you, or try to at very least. Once again, just focused in your own lane,
Think.
holding on.
Striving.
Starnberg.
seeing as that one guy sneaks up behind them, Starnberg is gonna try and roll around and demoralize them.
All right.
Let's see how this goes. Not well.
Not all that well. They're not quite frightened of you.
He is then simply going to go for a strike.
Mm.
Starnberg, get out of there, please.
Yep. Yes, I'm planning that, don't you worry.
But not before you have to one big strike and slam it into them. This one doesn't have their shell, so they can't shell block. In fact, they'll be dealt some good damage there. Alright.
And for its final action, I'm gonna move over here.
Mm-hmm. But as you're rushing away, that one you just struck, its aqueous form, which doesn't really have a solid figure in it, only shows reflections as if you're looking into a pool of water, starts to solidify once more. They once again freeze their shell, but this time they look exactly like Starnberg, though of course an icy sculpture of Starnberg. They step here. Actually, no, they're going to go here into a flank against spores.
My, they've become quite handsome, haven't they?
And now that they have the ice back and the flank,
Oh no.
gonna be even more damage because of the cold damage added on. Total of 26 against spores.
Well, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Mhm. So, those shells up, they're really dangerous. That's all they can do for their turn. Rask.
I think these ones are worse imitations than the snakes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is one of the worst possible places that guy could have moved for me.
You got flanking now, though.
I don't want flanking. I figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
I can go there.
Rats, I'm trying to shoot fire that direction.
Can always delay.
Delay.
Already. Go. And Rask, there's that
Second.
button in the initiative order that you can press.
Found it.
Press it again, because that'll put you right after who's going right now. Yes.
Perfect.
So, Cow. Unleashing
Which
your
second?
psyche.
Striding.
Hmm?
Using a second level breathe fire.
Alright. Your psyche is unleashed. You see, sort of in the air here, there is something very akin to what you know. That sort of ability to cause entropy in thin air, not creating some new gust of wind or not calling up one, but just creating the entropy itself. It's very similar to what you do yourself that's happening right now in this whole place. They both, though, succeed. They seem to be pretty reflexive. But they'll take half damage, and you get the bonus, and you rolled pretty well. It's not bad. For an AoE, bit of damage, and of course, they are weak to fire, so it doesn't much matter that way as well. With that, their shells also burn off. They're created, or made to be more in that aqueous form again.
Didn't do as much as I wanted to do. That's my turn.
Mm-hmm. Rask, now we go to you.
I move there.
Mm-hmm.
I can hit all three of them from this position.
Oh yeah. Motes of your aura floating near them.
Do a tidal hands. And let me show you.
Curious how you're getting them in this cone. Let's see.
I can do 2 cones.
Oh right.
Oh, well.
Like that.
Amazing.
So,
This has to go from one of my corners, right?
yes, thrusting out both hands in opposite directions. Roll, oh, actually, I need to roll a
Or
reflexes.
do I need to be in that spot?
No, that works. As long as
Okay.
you're not putting yourself inside of the cone, it's always kosher.
And this is going to be bludgeoning. This is hard, furious sprays of water.
Mm-hmm.
It is
And-
halal.
The two guys that were hit by the flames seemingly are not prepared for a gout of water afterwards immediately. They both take the full 6 damage, and they can't freeze their, or they can't deflect with their shell because they already took the damage. This guy on the left.
Ah.
is,
The one that succeeded was... darn it. The one that still had the shell.
So as a shell, they're going to take 0 damage because they're going to use their shell to reflect it. But that means the shell is cracked because you're doing bludgeoning damage. So currently, none of them have their shell up.
It still took down the shell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, well... that was the most important part.
Yeah, as soon as they use their reaction, which they're always going to use it, their shell goes down.
Okay.
With
We
that,
can end my turn there, and I'll work on getting rid of these funny direction things.
this one stares you down, Rask. And, well, still a cost to them to use this action, rather, freeze their shell up, and they do become you, Rask. They sort of stoop down to your level. They step up, raise an icicle to stab into you. A little bit freaky being attacked by yourself. Reflection of yourself. You are dealt 9 damage.
Instead of let it
Okay.
loose guys. These are freaky loose guys.
And I do a reaction on him.
Alright.
Salting the wound.
Creature that has blood. You do
Oh, he
not
doesn't have blood.
Mm-hmm.
Rask would know how his ability works.
Yeah, you might. We wouldn't even
Oh,
be
wrong
able to
one.
trigger.
Let me do that again. I'm being all clumsy right now.
That's alright.
Okay. I do not do a reaction because my other reaction is not currently available.
Okay. Tresser, now back in the fight.
Alrighty. There's a few things I could do here for flanking, but I'm gonna start by getting rid of a threat. I'm gonna start with this guy. I'm gonna step down
Thank
for the
you.
flank. Then I'm gonna strike. Thanks to their mortal weakness, I still get this bonus.
Mm-hmm. Definite hit. Flames brought to fruition as well, which should deal a lot of damage to them. They're barely holding on.
Or death.
And I believe all 3 of those that are up there are missing their shell at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah. I only have one more action. I think it's gonna be best for me to go for another strike and try to take one out.
Okay.
Yes.
Bring to bear the heated pick 13 with the flank. Definitely hits.
Doesn't even matter. You're dead anyway.
As it rakes through their form falls down into a complete puddle on the floor.
Oh, who knew a single ember shroom would be like this effective?
Mm-hmm. It's really nice. But
Nice and warm.
as that one falls, one of them calls out in Thalassic. We can't all fall here. This was to be our only home, our only place that we could find sanctuary. Understand? Maybe we can help you. They should have shout out, not knowing who's going to understand them.
Wait, they might not be attacking. I think they want to talk to me.
Oh. Blub blub blub.
I'm listening to you, I say in Thalassian.
Let our ally. Don't let them die. They'll reconstitute if they have a chance. Just promise us that we can show you what happened here. We did not kill these people.
Then why did you try to kill us?
We were told to defend this place. Told by the master.
The master. Who's the master?
Well, as combat begins to end, things slow down.
Ow.
Ow.
Master, they created this place. They froze it all over. Gave sanctuary. Creatures like us. Creatures of ice. Creatures of the cold. But we do not know their face.
Wait, then how did he tell you how to defend this place? Did he send a letter?
It was his booming voice, shattering the ice of this cavern, nearly. A demand that if we were to seek refuge here, that we would defend it as well, in his name.
But I
They-
don't think we were attacking. It's not like we were. We want to take this away from you. It's a really pretty place, actually. I like it.
We did not know that. You entered here just like those dwarf creatures did. Searching
Oh, did. Oh,
for something that the master has. Yes.
The. You know what we're looking for then.
You don't know what you're looking for. We do not. All we know is that this place called to us. A place of refuge, a place of cold. Real cold. Ice. Warm, well, the blanket that it provides is a balm to us. There's so much reflective surface here too. All of the crystals, all of the ice, they all tell a story. And we can read that story.
It's incredible.
Rask, are they telling you what happened to these gray-skinned dwarves or something else?
I think he's been translating, right?
I've been translating.
Yeah, the assumption always is that he's translating directly, so you guys can just ask questions as if you can all speak, the language.
Ah,
Yeah, and I'll carry them over as well. Yeah. What about these three? What exactly happened?
Well, what you see on the map here is not dwarves. He sort of opens a flap on one of the tents, and you see those three dwarves that ran off, piled into it. We were taking their form as part of an ambush against any who would follow.
Wait, so you were just lying down here, waiting for anyone who would come by?
But what else is there to do?
Well, if this is a sanctuary, shouldn't you be doing the things you want to do?
Well, sometimes silence, stillness is what we want to do, what we want to have. It allows us time to ruminate over the reflections that we gather in our lives. Here, I show you one of them. He looks over to one of these icy crystals here that, again, has this sort of reflective surface. He places a hand on it, and almost as if he is absorbing the memory, absorbing the reflections that once passed over it. Also, technically, he wouldn't have been able to reflect Starnberg in that fight, because Starnberg doesn't have a reflection, and these guys work off reflections.
Oh,
So, he tried it, and it should have failed, but, it didn't come up. Either way,
forgot.
he, playing on his form, is this reflected scene of a creature lumbering into this cave, leering over frightened dwarves. It's sort of shattered almost, this reflection, so there's multiple sort of like, you know, visages of it. But you see.
Facets.
Facets, yes. You see, at least at one point, the multifaceted face of a white dragon.
Esoteric lore check.
Mm-hmm.
There
Do
it
we
is,
have
the giant
legends?
kobold.
Do we have legends about dragons where we are?
You do, yes. You've heard that there are creatures that share some physiological aspects to kobolds, but
Ooh.
you've never seen one yourself.
Is that? Oh, this is. Oh, this giving me frog bumps. Yeah, that's what those are. Um. Huh.
We suppose this is the master we serve. This scaled creature that you call dragon seems in tune. The frost, the snow, the ice, but something about all this tells me that the dragon itself isn't what is creating this environment.
It's merely thriving in it. Regardless, it clearly killed these dwarves. Uh, as like defending its territory. Yeah, it saw some threats. So, oh, great. Now we're on its territory.
There's something familiar about this dragon.
Yeah, I see a resemblance. Are you related?
I
No,
don't
you
know.
like lightning and
Maybe.
stuff. That's yeah.
Lightning is just a me thing.
Ah, okay. So,
All the
Good.
kobolds I know don't
oh
do
goodness.
it.
So, what did my esoteric lore check reveal about dragons of that kind? Like, what do I know?
Well, there's not much you can know just because of your, well, location in the world and your knowledge in the past, but you know that they're not usually underground like this. Certainly not this far.
Odd. Um, I could think of a few things we could do. We could try to sneak through. I don't know if engaging. I don't know how well we do in a fight against that. Maybe we'd win. We could also just. If that is the master these four serve, then maybe they could put in a good word for us and we don't get mauled to death by a dragon.
That's the hope. I would rather not have to fight something like that.
I mean,
I would hope that
yeah,
we would find a way to parlay, maybe trade for what we need.
And all
something
we
like
need is that recipe. We don't.
that. We just ask to copy it down.
You're not certain of the, well, of the chances you have. We will not guide you in, we will not try to gain audience with such a ferocious creature. It does not wish to be in our presence. We will not place ourselves in such danger.
Well, there goes that bargaining chip.
I feel like we're a bit outmatched when coming across it.
Yeah, I guess we'd
We
only
don't
know
have
for
to
sure if
fight.
we did
We
face
just
it,
need
but
to.
I don't like our chances. I don't want to roll those dice if I don't have to.
Not in a fighting sort of way, even just diplomatically. What do we have to offer for it? Very little.
We could figure out what it wants.
We've got silver.
I would rather not hand over that silver.
I mean, I'd hand over the silver for my life. I mean, I'd prefer to keep it, but
I think it's worth talking to them, and if things go south, we can just run away.
well, yeah, that's an idea.
But a creature that large, how fast could it run?
We don't have to
Well,
be faster
there's a
than
lot of
it.
tunnels around here.
We all just have to be faster than one of us.
Um,
I don't like what you're insinuating there.
How about this? We try one, not to be seen. Two, not to fight it by either disengaging or engaging in diplomacy, saying like, "Hey, we could offer our services, so we might be able to give you something you want." Because
I
I
think it would be
really,
less nice if we were sneaking around to begin with.
yeah, that's a good point. And we're really bad at sneaking around, like really bad. uh,
Perhaps our first option should be just approaching it with tact and respect. Maybe earn its favor that way, and if that fails, well, we can just try and break it afterwards.
I speak in Thalassic again. You said that you weren't sure what we're after. We're looking for some kind of a recipe to process some kind of material. You wouldn't happen to have seen anything like that around any of these people, have you?
It's specifically a tablet, by the way.
A tablet.
Not sure of what you speak. If anyone would know, it would be the master.
I hope they'd be willing to speak with us. I can call water and ice. Would that help? I say as I gesture toward the one on the ground.
We will elect him. Allow him to replenish himself. I
Okay.
sort of pick up the water, absorb it in a way, solidify it. We must go deeper into the lake. South. We want to be far away from the wrath of the future. We only want it for a home. Why we didn't just kill you out of some frenzied loyalty or anything like that.
Yeah, we don't want to take your home.
Let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah.
It really is a nice home. There's it's always good to have more microbiomes around.
why did they leave? Like, I mean, they
Hmm?
stayed hidden from the dragon before.
They're going to try to reconstitute their comrade.
Oh, so they have to go to the lake for that. The snow heroes. Okay.
Didn't you say
I don't think.
earlier that... excuse me, go ahead.
I'm not sure if the dragon would even have the recipe. I think it would be very noticeable if it was the dragon that, you know, broke
Okay.
in,
Yeah, there'd be signs
killed
of
the
ice.
guy's uncle.
Maybe another esoteric treasure. You're thinking about that?
Aren't we, by the way, like, complaining about that whole enforcing their new nature?
Professor, there are myths about dragons being able to take the shape of humanoids.
Oh no. Maybe the dragon does have it.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Maybe it has a good reason.
Some
We should,
dragons take humanoid forms at times for convenience, or
Oh,
perhaps in this case for throwing people off. They wouldn't think a dragon would have it if a person killed and stole.
Maybe the dragon likes to make things.
Oh, and Cal, you were looking around, finish your search, and do find a couple of things.
you know, the rock I was talking about that makes things cold. It's a metal. You think he's looking for a way to shape that metal?
maybe.
Perhaps.
Either way, I'm bleeding out a little bit. I think we should try to maybe get a little fire going. Uh, well, very small controlled fire going,
Of
and we
Just a
course.
could
bit. And let's
huddle
stay
up for a bit.
quiet. The dragon has been here before. There's no saying it can't. be here again.
Would certainly be a shame for all of your blood to go to waste.
Yes,
Why do you
that.
have to say it like that?
Well, if you're afraid of that, you can start licking.
No.
You scratch and lick. Scratch and lick.
Right? Whoever's doing the fire, roll me a survival check.
I'll do that.
I'm gonna
Can we
treat.
all-
Our water guy is the best person at making fires.
No, I keep putting it out. No.
Can't I
Yes.
just use ignition to make fire?
You could if you had the right fire, or had the right wood, and had the right, stacking,
Yeah.
so it gets oxygen, so it actually
And that's what my
continues.
survival's doing.
Yes, he can ignite it, sure, but it's not going to keep it going. But yes,
What
Rask,
kind of
let
fire are you
fire go.
building?
EP fire. One of those
Classic.
good oxygen.
Good heat
Yes.
dispersal.
Finding a chance to refocus as well.
Oh yeah, I have continued recovery, so every 10 minutes I can treat wounds.
All right, and also, since you guys are able to warm yourselves around the fire, you don't take the tick of cold damage from the severe cold that is down here. For the moment, at least.
Environmental rules in my Pathfinder?
Mm-hmm.
Treating my wounds.
So how do we want to do
Could you
the
please
wound
treat my
treating
wounds?
here? Do we want to hand wave it with a certain time, or do like lots of rolls?
Let's do a lot of rolls here, since time matters.
Matters.
Yeah. Figure there's a chance of that.
I also want every 10 minutes a survival check to maintain the fire.
Okay.
And because you
Don't
can just
starve.
spritz people like in 6 seconds, you can maintain the fire and heal at the same time.
Yeah. This is trivial. I do it like once per person every 10 minutes. So
Mm-hmm.
Rask first. Ouch. Sforce.
Stormberg, could I get some?
Of course.
Thank you.
Then Tresser.
And thanks to treat wounds, I lose the wounded condition. Yay.
Treasure also gets that 2
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
and 20.
Oh, I'm fully healed. Oh, my voice
Why
has
didn't you do that
improved.
for me?
Oh, you fixed my tonsil issues.
as
said
voice, you're still a bother, so
Wow.
Oh, I feel so much better. Thank you.
So if that's Starnberg's second medicine, then
20 minutes.
I'm 10 minutes behind at the moment. So
Mm-hmm.
let's get that survival going.
It's time this
Uh,
Peters out.
This is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Do my rounds of healing. Rask.
Think about
That's the
how...
second step, 10 minutes. Spores is free if he can attempt a survival check as
Yeah,
well.
Spores
if
can
that's
Here
try.
is Force.
Seems as if you have to constantly maintain the fire because literally the heat is being sapped away from it. As far as you're able to get it going for another round, you don't
Please
take
heal
any
Force.
You-
Okay. Oh, it's just the two of us.
Yep, now you're completed 20 minutes.
if you take another 10 minutes, I can go for a heal on Rask.
I'm willing to do another 10. There's no problem with that.
One more
Alrighty.
survival.
I'm good with that.
Now watch me fumble this treat wounds roll.
This is the kind of anxious short resting I wish I could have done in my Icewind Dale game.
Okay. So the heal for Rask at the beginning of this period. And the heal for Force.
Hmm,
Oops.
Yup. Pretty good going.
Thank you.
So then
Feels-
at the end of the 10 minutes that Starnberg is healing, all my heals will come back. but we don't need to waste it again, I don't think.
Alrighty. So, you guys have been maintaining the fire, keeping warm while you patch your wounds. Cal sort of rummaging over the camp, doesn't find anything else of interest. Is Starbuck standing at top of the... Oh, I think you guys just looted it. Okay, and I deleted it. So, from here on, as you let the fire go for another 10 minutes, but you don't have to stay around for those 10, you guys do from here.
Let's get moving again.
We should
Okay.
probably visit for our audience.
Yes. Best
Put
we
this
find
out.
the dragon before the dragon finds us.
I put out the fire when we are getting ready to leave.
So, a question before we move on into this. The dragon very clearly killed these people.
Yep.
Yep.
What do we do that
Well,
prevents it from killing us immediately?
an enemy of an enemy
Right.
is a friend.
Pretend to be diplomatic enough that it doesn't feel inclined to immediately murder us.
We're a lot cuter than these guys, so it should be fine.
That is.
I'm not sure it works that way.
He's not wrong, though.
What probably sets us apart is that these guys were trespassing while we are more or less requesting for an audience. Perhaps that might help us in this situation.
So we should knock on his door.
We
More or
are
less.
also actually trespassing because we deliberately ignored requests for us to turn around.
Well, but now
Wait,
we're...
when were we told to
The the icy wing thingies.
Maybe they're not friends.
I mean, blub 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 blub. I don't think I could go on that.
I don't know, would they have
I
a
was
different accent when they're frozen?
I told you all.
You guys step out. The icy lake beckons.
Great, back to this.
Oh boy.
Just take it slow and we'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really hoping we don't have to fight that dragon.
But
Would
yes,
go.
as you guys are taking it slow, no need for acrobatics, just remember if you go too fast, you might start needing to worry about slipping. As you head out onto the lake, it's, well, flat, of course, lakes are, but jutting out from it every so often are these sections of bridge that seem to have once crossed it.
Can Cal climb up on this to get a look around?
Sure, yeah. Roll me an athletics check, though. Start.
That is a good starting point.
What about experience though for those icy guys?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. Icy guys were 80, but also I want you guys to take 60 experience points as on top of that for the story beats of getting through the fog and learning about the dwarves and the dragon. So 80 and 60.
I'll take that. Some of the cold survival was part of that 60.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Plus 60. Should be
I'll
at
put
220.
Yep, 220.
But, Cal, as you're trying to clamber up the top of this, it's 20 feet high and a lot of the rubble is sort of loose and such. One of the rocks goes loose and sort of clambers down to the ice. It smacks into it for a moment and it sort of seems to crack, but then stops. However, you don't go unnoticed, as stepping out from the back of the bridge, seemingly on the underbelly of it, stomping out, is this ugly-looking creature of some sort. In following the theme of ice, make. A very pot-bellied, very humanoid in a strange way. Oi! Oi! You here to
Of course, it was
pass?
under the bridge.
Oh my gosh.
You pay to pass. Speaks in a broken common.
How
What are we
much?
paying?
How many are you?
One
Or
tall one and 4 half ones.
one? You're making me do fractions. I can't do fractions.
Well, in
How
that case,
many?
just don't count them and just count me.
It totals up to
No.
3.
3. Roll a diplomacy
Yeah.
check, anybody who wants to back that up.
Rask is
That's me
standing
trusting
there,
your
eyes wide, just like
And can I help with my
disturbed.
deception?
You could, yeah.
We got this, guys.
Ooh. You're trying to fool me. Mom and Dad said someone would. They try to claim they don't have to. They try to claim they're sovereign citizen. They try to claim all these things.
Oh no.
Mom! Dad! He calls across the lake. You see 2 other ones at the northern bridge. Step out, much larger than him. They're trying to swindle me!
Okay,
Alright,
let's be real here for a moment. How many people actually come past your bridge?
alright. Well, they said there was gonna be a lot more. Dad!
I think it was just a misunderstanding.
Are you trying to confuse my kid?
We're not trying.
You are. That means you are. The price just went up. How about we do this together, son? How many do you think there are?
Cal holds up 3 fingers.
3, yes. I think there's 3. We'll go with that for now, but I'll tell you after this why there's not 3. See, the little ones, they count just as much as the big ones.
Actually, I count twice as much as the little ones.
Well, if you want to put it that way, then you're paying twice as much.
Actually,
That's coming out of your pocket.
So,
Um,
what do you think the proper amount would be for these travelers? Look at their gear, their eyes. Look at how they carry themselves. Do they look rich to
I
you?
like fishing gear.
as he tries to meet Starbuck's gaze, I might try to like sort of like gaze sternly to maybe try and intimidate him into lowballing.
As the dad is trying to teach the kid. Kid is looking at you, Sternberg. Yeah, roll it.
Oh no.
Oh my
And
God.
he's trying to scare me too, Dad. Look at that. I'm not scared. No, you aren't, son. Good. You can't be intimidated when you're a tax collector. They're gonna try, but you have the, well, you're stronger than them, so that makes you meaner. They can't, they can't intimidate you.
They have a point, you know.
So how about this? Look at all of them. They've got some fancy stuff on them. I see some runes on their weapons. I see a big backpack, probably full of gold. How about, judging by inflation, 3 gold pieces each. 6 for the
I
loud
have literally
one.
half of that on me.
Yeah, like my dad said, 3 gold pieces and then you can pass my bridge.
Problem. I may or may not be completely broke.
Or have your friend loan you something, or... That's right, friends can loan stuff.
If this is your bridge, do your parents also have a bridge that we have to pay to cross?
Well, of course, you have to cross every bridge. There's 2 bridges here. 3 bridges, actually, once we have our second son. Or daughter.
So Rask, who has a silver platter hiding in his backpack that's worth 15 gold, is just standing there with a deer in headlights look.
I could also maybe offer to help pay with my services. I'm a doctor, you see, so if there's anything you may need to get looked at or fixed,
Are you
perhaps
saying
I
we're
can-
sick?
What is this toll even
Disease
for?
ridden?
Actually,
The
wait.
bridge.
If you have a daughter or son coming, then shouldn't you have the doctor look at the mother for maternity?
We prefer natural births.
Oh, worth a shot.
Hold on. Your bridge is broken. We can't even
What?
use it. Yeah, like look, it's 20 feet up there. We had to crawl onto the ice to go across. We're not even crossing your bridge. Like
As long
what?
as we can live under the bridge, then it's our bridge. And you're trying to
I'm
pass
actually
the
living
bridge.
under it?
What do you use the toll for? Do you use it to maintain the bridge?
We use it to buy things. Don't ask too much.
We
We
do
need
that
we need
too.
childcare supplies. You know it's expensive.
Wait, but we're not even going over the bridge, so why do we have to pay the toll?
Have you tried signing up for welfare support? Like they can help you.
Enough! Are you going to pay or not?
Okay.
My
So
son's waiting.
I have something better than 3 gold coins per person. I have high quality chunks of raw silver. This
Roll
Oh.
stuff
diplomacy check.
this stuff rolls a very, very good price.
It actually does.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad for our
I'm
finances. but
catching us a deal, guys, okay?
Hmm.
Okay.
How many you got?
I've got like 2 here, but they're good chunks. I was going to sell them, but I'm willing to part with them for passing this bridge and yours.
They're good. For my son's bridge. You know, it's more difficult to sell whole goods than use cash.
Yes, but it's you can also always break up the chunk and say, "Hey, this is a chunk of near pure silver." So it can be split up, unlike other goods.
Dad, you said we should only ever accept gold and silver. Well, it
This is
kind of
silver.
is silver, you know. It's up to you, son. Do you want to take the silver? Hmm. You know, isn't this the part where we should just kill them and take everything? No, because you want people to feel safe going by the bridge. You don't want to kill everybody. If you kill
Rest
maybe a
nods
few.
his head.
I'm gonna roll a will save. DC 16 on the child. Or on the teenager Frostro who just moved out of house.
If this works, the one silver chunk for crossing that I got us like a 50% off deal.
Fine. Fine, I'll take the 2 silver chunks.
Wait,
You did say two.
I said 1 or 2 like for the crossing of both bridges.
But no,
Then they're like,
I
"I'll take
demanded
two," sure.
15 for my bridge. Right? And then and those silver chunks are worth they're worth pretty good, but not that good.
No, that I have an eye for these things. This is worth at least 15 gold pieces, a single chunk.
Roll deception check.
Starbuck nods along.
Dad, is it? I mean, it sounds good to me, yeah. Well, that's only for your bridge, kid. They need to pay our toll, too.
It's the same bridge.
No, it's not. There are 2
Can we
bridges.
ask? Can we
They can
ask,
house many
how
troll
much it costs?
families.
What's the name of each bridge? I'm curious.
This is middle bridge, and ours is top bridge.
But
Wait, what
I
makes
like point
that
down the ice.
top?
It's
That's
literally
down there. Isn't that the
it-
down bridge?
That's down bridge is down there. Down
No,
to the
that
south.
would be the up bridge. That's where we came from.
Up yours.
No, thank
What's
you.
up, Bridge?
I don't like those kinds of things.
Are you gonna
Okay,
give my son his silver or
okay,
not?
okay, yeah. Take up one of the silver chunks we uh dug up, and I hand over the low grade silver chunk.
Alright, I will transfer it from your inventory to his.
It's currently in the party inventory.
Oh, okay, okay.
Only one. I can't believe we're getting away with this.
Alright, Rostral has a silver chunk. Oh, nice!
Probably not.
Good job on your first take, kid. He heads back to his den. Just remember, we'll be waiting for you at our bridge if you want to cross.
Okay, what if we don't cross their bridge?
Look, there's a way up over there.
Yeah, let's just not cross their bridge.
I'm pretty sure that's gonna just piss them off even more.
No, we're not technically crossing. We're just looking up there.
Look, I'm not in the mood to ruin a family. Like, even if they're trying to scam us.
Just make
I'm
this too
being
easy.
careful not that the child doesn't overhear me.
Teach the child bad words.
I'll give him an energy drink and teach him swear words.
It's like, so we're gonna head up this little
Mm-hmm. Up this
incline.
snowy embankment, this incline.
What are,
Getting closer to this
what are those?
strange building that's sort of, well, stretched across the back of this cavern here. You don't see any windows on it. You reach closer to it, but you do see, yes, this plant life, this rhymed plant life, in a way.
What?
I haven't
What?
seen anything like that.
Those?
Well,
Well,
this seems kind of out of place, doesn't it?
Sports would like to try to figure out what type of plants these are.
Mm-hmm. And as for exploration activities, those not investigating, roll
I'm
perception.
investigating the strange plants.
Right.
What esoteric things do I know about the plant? I'm applying diverse lore because this should not apply.
As far as these plants strike you as not naturally grown, they seem to be planted here as if part of an experiment, even to have them survive here.
Are they doing well?
They're doing decently well, it seems. They're covered in frost. You don't know how they're really surviving, but they'd be doing okay.
The evergreens could be coniferous.
And the rest of you don't really sense any dangers on this little outcropping here.
Are we high enough up to see if there's anything on this other outcropping to the west of the map?
All the way over to the, like, other side?
Yeah. Well, no, the one by the bridge in the middle.
Oh,
Because that was why I wanted to climb the bridge in the first place, was to see if there's anything up there.
you really can't tell from this distance, for certain. As you're looking around, you don't see any obvious way to get inside of this place from here. You haven't checked the other side, of course, but on the other side of the lake there.
True.
Should go check it, and then deal
Let's
with
do that.
the creatures if not. What are those things, by the way?
Look like trolls to
I
you.
wonder what these toll-taking bridge living creatures are.
Can I make an
You know-
esoteric lore check to identify these creatures?
What are you looking at? Yes, roll your esoteric.
Do you know how many bridges
Like
are
somebody I used
down
to
by
know.
our village? None. Well, there's.
Yes, it is a frost troll. Sir, what do you want to know about them? One thing.
Any special abilities?
They regenerate, but it can be cancelled out by acid or fire.
I forgot, does the exploit vulnerability, does it act like fire for the sake of those special abilities, or only the vulnerabilities?
Say that again, sorry?
Like my exploit vulnerability, it allows me to deal the extra damage to the vulnerability, but does it also
It does.
as fire
Yes,
for
because
the
you're hitting the
projectile.
weakness value. Yeah, I
I
Oh,
think
consider it.
Thaumaturge explicitly says it doesn't trigger other effects.
Alright.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Sorry, Jester.
It seems to have triggered it for the ice reflections.
Well, that's
That's because they took damage.
they took. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's kind of weird with thaumaturge, but yeah, I'll try to be consistent. But as you guys are looking around here, again, perception checks if you're not investigating anything. All of you
Doesn't seem
stay
like anything we need to look at.
outside
Or,
of the grassy part here, and as far as Racia's Inn, don't notice that there are a few strangely different plants here. Here, Gask, you might be able to move now. It's doing the stuck thing. Okay, that's fine. You don't notice it before it's too late. As you step into here, and all these plants covered with that rime, covered with that frost. You don't notice that one of them is cracking and moving in a small way. Or starts to lash out at you, this strange, rime-encrusted carnivorous plant. The rest of you are caught on the ice for the fight. Next time, as we are late into the session.
I feel like I've been here before.
Now you know how it feels.
But yeah, hope you guys had a good time.
I did. I had such a good time haggling with and scamming a child.
Yeah. It's a teenager. It's fine. It's his first summer job.
The troll is fine. Look, if they were putting the money towards repairing the bridge, then sure, I'd be willing to pay the full toll. But, man, they're just scamming people.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. And you let yourself get scammed.
Who said we're
Well,
not gonna go back and kill them to take back the silver?
That's true.
Because we're the good guys.
You are the good guy. I probably am.
I'm not the one paying.
I'm not paying for it. You're the guy who says get wings and doesn't intend to pitch in any money.
I have 1.5 gold to my name.
But yeah, hope you guys had a good time. And
Had a great time.
Always.
I did.
for those watching, of course, thank you as well for watching. I'm trying to be consistent with the game, but there's going to be a lot of new, holiday stuff that's going to interrupt weekends. One problem of running the game on the weekend, actually, because you kind of have to do stuff on the weekend sometimes. But tomorrow or next week we will have a session. Week after that we won't, because I'm going to the Renaissance Fair. Then over Thanksgiving and over Christmas I probably also won't be running, just because family and friends and stuff. That being said, though, I'm going to keep it going as consistent as I possibly can and keep us, well, track. That being said, of course, above me is my Patreon, patreon.com/KoboldDM. If you like these maps, all of these maps, every single one, including the other one that we started with earlier today, Icy Descent, all part of my Patreon. If you want to have access to them. These new ones are coming out pretty soon. The old ones from the start of the campaign are up right now. $10 tier. But yeah, hope you guys had a good time. And one more thing, Rask, Chris, you stream.
You bet. Hi, everybody. I'm Rask, the player of Chris Kobold.
Oh,
I'm Rask, the player of Chris Kobold, and I stream here on Twitch at Captain Kobold. So come by sometime. I do puzzle indie retro stuff on Tuesdays and Wednesdays around 6 p.m. Central Time, doing the Talos Principle 2 right now, and it is amazing. Come stop by.
EX is back. There we go. Yeah, having a little bit of technical difficulty. But yes, your streams. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. See y'all next week.
That's all for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.